Hey guys, Dr. Drunk aka here with another World of Warships game in my Benham. I'm divved up with 7 green heads here on Land of Fire. And we're going to see some incredible torpedo action today. Now, you can see we're unmodded. This is the only way I could actually get this replay to actually work. So at least you guys will have a replay here. Bring that mini map up nice and big. You can see from the team lineups, there's a lot of battleships on the other team. Seven's in his Soyuz, and I've got my Benham, and it is a standard battle here on Land of Fire. What do you need to know about the Benham? Well, the Benham is basically a torpedo machine gun. This thing shits out torps like nobody's business. It is an absolute monster. It is great for denying areas. It is great for keeping people from going anywhere near your cap. It has great stealth. It has really, really good torpedoes. These are Fletcher torps with a 10.5 kilometer range. The guns are not so good. And of course, because I am running a survivability expert and superintendent build, I do not have IFHE, and I do not have BFT. I don't have a lot of stuff that would make this a gunboat. Guns are serviceable, however, so it's not really something to worry about. You can see 7 being a little bit toxic in chat. Iowa running survivability expert, of course. I basically see Iowas and a lot of battleships, especially slow things like Colorados and Fredericks, and I just say, this is tasty pickings for the Benham. So, following RPF, these super quick reloading torpedoes, they're about 64 seconds or so for a reload. You can basically afford to dump these things out every freaking place you want. So we're going to go fishing here. We're going to shoot out both racks of torps on each side towards our RPF findings and see what we come up with. First target we spot, the Jervis spots the Iowa on the other side, followed closely by the Frederick de Grossa. We spot another Iowa coming right up the middle. Could be what the RPF is pointing at, but somehow I doubt it with 3 destroyers in the game. Jervis is pushing up. He's going to cut off my torpedo routes just as the Jutland is spotted. I'm in a Benham. The Jutland is an extremely good gunboat. I cannot gun that thing down. The Jervis can certainly help. If this is an unfair fight with 2 DDs on one, just a Jervis and a Benham, well, that Jutland's going to have a rough time, especially with a Helena looking at him as well. He gets set on fire. He's slowing down to smoke. Our Jervis manages to dodge those torpedoes initially. Helena gets the kill on the Jutland, and we get away scot-free. However, a destroyer's worst nightmare, the USS Flint, basically an Atlanta-class light cruiser, with a smokescreen and with 9-kilometer torpedoes, no radar though, shows up. The Mahan is out on our flank. I dump torps towards that Flint as he smokes up. He's just inside my torpedo range, so hopefully somebody blaps him really, really well. Flint's backing up. Yeah, 10.4 kilometers. If he backs up, it's not going to go anywhere. 10.5. Well, we're going to hold this rack of torps. But as you can see, they have 5 ships pushing this side, 3 battleships. Well, they had 6, 2 destroyers, 3 battleships, and a cruiser. We killed one of the destroyers as our Miyoko goes down on the other side. And now the Flint is sitting in smoke. We're moving in. He's well within torpedo range. These are going to be dual-purpose torps, considering that the Friedrich de Grossa is actually pushing up. So we're going to go ahead. Well, we missed with those. We're going to go ahead and dump torps into that smoke. We can tell he's still there because he's shooting out of the smoke. And our other side torpedoes are actually fully reloaded, so now's a chance to get in there and do a little bit of damage. The Freddy's going to push behind the island, so we're going to drop torpedoes to follow him. Or, you know what? The Iowa's a better target. The Iowa's probably going to sit and hide behind that island. Right now, we're just basically sitting, denying this side to the enemy. Keeping a look at the minimap, the opposite side. They're holding off fairly well. Checking our torps, and we get lucky, and the flint eats one of those. That is our first kill. It's our first, basically our first torpedo hit and our first kill. The Mahan is retreating. He's rotating back around. His spotting is much, much worse than mine. His detectability is much worse than mine. So I will be able to have the measure of that Mahan anytime I really want it. So we're waiting for our torps to reload on this side. We have 20 seconds. The Benham actually works the best in a kiting type of position, but because of its great torpedo angles, you can actually go forward into targets as well. Now our battleships are clumped up. 7's in a great position to tank. Our Colorado is broadside or nearly broadside to a Friedrich Grosse and an Iowa. Both of these guys are sailing essentially next to each other, so these are what I call dual-purpose torpedoes. They have the potential to either hit the Friedrich Grosse or the Iowa if the Freddy maneuvers. And we're going to set another set of torpedoes off here. Another set of, again, dual-purpose torpedoes. Looks like that Freddy's going to eat a whole bucket load of damage. He's going to chew on some metal fish. Unfortunately, he speeds up. We knock out his rudder, we knock out his engine, we get a flood. He immediately repairs that flood. The Iowa speeds up and manages to miss all of them. Unfortunately, the Dmitry Donskoy, or the Donkey, decides to put his ship right in the path of my torpedo launch. So I can't do anything until he dies. Now that he dies, I can basically do whatever I want because, well, he's a corpse. Who cares? Anyway, Donskoy throws away his ship. We are down on points. We are down on ships. But we're still holding this side fairly well. Team on the other side is holding fairly well also. The Iowa looks like he's going to move out of cover. He's going to move out of that rock. Probably to take shots at our Freddy or our Soyuz. And so in chat now, I'm basically going, all right, 7, you gotta basically do some tanking here for me. You gotta keep everybody from dying over here. Their Freddy goes down. That evens up the ship lead, but because of the number of ships that we have lost and the type of ships that we've lost, they actually still have a points lead. They have a 10-point lead. The Iowa popped out enough to actually shoot at 7. He decides he's going to shoot at 7 a little bit more. And 7 basically blaps him for around 40,000 hit points. We get 1 torp in on the Iowa. Does not cause a flood. And he starts to pop his heel and repair a little bit. I basically give the wreck of the Donskoy a kiss. And I decide, well, let's finish off this Iowa. He's going to rush down our Freddy. You know, in Discord, I'm telling 7, my God, I hope this Freddy doesn't push. This Iowa's going to push directly into him, and, you know, if I know this Iowa, because I run Matchmaking Monitor, I know this Iowa, he's probably going to try and ram. He thinks that's probably a good trade, and honestly, that's not a bad trade at this point. Because they're both basically the same health, and, you know, if he rams, not a bad idea. I tell the Freddy to get back. Looks like my torpedoes are going to do a little bit of work. I somehow get spotted by the Iowa because I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to make sure I don't torpedo a friendly battleship. And the Iowa basically chews on 3 of them. Eats 2 floods. This Iowa's barely in my detection range. So I figure, all right, I'm out of detectability. I'm dark. He knows I'm here. However, he's stationary. And now the Mahan pops up at 5.5 kilometers. So, well, what do? I'm only a Benham, but I do have backup. I have friends. So, time to kill the Mahan. And we get our double strike as our torpedoes flood out that Iowa before he can kill our Friedrich. I am still spotted, not using a smoke screen. That Iowa's stationary. He's going to take another torpedo and a flood. Knocks him down to about 17,000 hit points. And here we go again. Might as well use our guns. 7's pushing out. Our flank on this side is doing fine. Our flank on the other side is basically collapsed. But with the first double strike of the match, yeah, I said first double strike of the match, we've evened up the scores and actually taken a ship lead. We are capping, our Jervis is actually capping their cap. Second set of torpedoes misses the Iowa, but we're content to do a little bit of work gunning him down. He's only on 13,000 hit points. He's not looking at us. The Colorado's looking at me, but he's not looking at me. Now he turns his guns onto me. Secondaries are working me over. There's a fire. My engine goes out. I do run last stand on all my destroyers, so this one does not worry me in the least. We'll dump our torps into the Iowa in case 7 can't get the kill. He chunks him down to about 1,500 hit points. We throw another couple shells at him. He is burning. Those torpedoes are on their way. And there is a kill on the Iowa. We get 2 racks out at 2 kilometers onto the Colorado, and that's GG, well played to the Colorado. Devastating strike, Kraken unleashed, and double strike number 2. At this point, we're at 152,000 points of damage. We still have 5,100 health remaining in our own right. Elsewhere, the Brindisi finally kills off the Jervis. So their cap is safe for the moment. We have an Akatsuki pushing into the middle. There's an Iowa pushing into the middle. We also have a radar battleship in our Missouri. Missouri's going the wrong way. But again, the Akatsuki, pretty poor concealment. He gets spotted at 7.3k. We're just going to stay dark at this point, because that Akatsuki's going to have a problem. Now we can open up. He's turned away. Any torpedoes are likely going after my battleship divmate. There are the torps. He eats a couple of those. We do a little bit of damage to the Akat, knock out a couple modules. But it's a Russian battleship, so Russian bias. It basically hits his saturated nose, and GG, well played, nobody cares. Thankfully, the Brindisi does not know how to shoot. He is what I would consider a bit of a potato. And he duffs his shot on me. We have another Iowa. So, what do we do to Iowas, chat? What do we do to Iowas, guys? Well, we drop torps. We position ourselves so our rack that's reloaded is going to be up first. And we start farming damage. 2 torpedo hits. There's our high caliber. There's our Confederate. 176,000. And there's our 6th kill with another torpedo hit. 186,500 points of damage. All that we have left is an Akatsuki and a Brindisi. The Brindisi is, of course, scary because it's sap. It's Italian and it fires sap, and sap will wreck a destroyer. On the plus side, there's a good chance that if I can go bow in, he'll be fairly saturated. And of course, the Iowa comments. I'm not going to lie, I didn't think you had that many torpedoes. Yep, the Benham is a torpedo machine gun. And 8 per side every minute. And that right there, folks, is exactly your average Tier 9 and Tier 10 player. Doesn't really have any clue what many ships in the game are capable of, which is a sad state of affairs and something that I've talked about many, many times on stream. And of course, we do all these games on twitch.tv/DrDrunk, DRDRUNK, AKA. You can check us out on Twitch. Chances are we're not going to hit that Akatsuki with those. I shoot off 1 or 2 rounds from the guns to see if he is able to spot me. He's not. He's behind that rock. He's just going to keep trying to torp that the Soyuz, who has figured out that, yes, WASD hacks do work, and you can actually do something with them. So our Akat is actually sitting in the cap. I'm now located, which means the Akatsuki is still sitting in smoke. He's fairly close. Actually, he's more than likely going to be an easy pickings at this point because, well, if I know anything, he's just going to stay in that smoke and he's going to sit there. So our torpedoes are reloaded, and again, you can see what I call the Benham wiggle, where you just wiggle waggle from side to side and drop your torpedoes as you... Whoa! And torpedoes coming in. Can we get around them? Absolutely can, because the Benham has pretty decent rudder shift and fairly decent agility. We get a bunch of torps aimed right at where those shells are coming from. And now we just prowl and wait. Because, as you can always say, smoke screens are torpedo magnets, and sitting broadside in smoke just invites things to come and kill you. That's our 7th kill, 187,000 damage. And helpfully in chat, I say, don't sit broad in smoke. Not that it really matters. The Brindisi, easy pickings at this point. He is in my detectability range. I'm using the Akatsuki smoke to try and put some distance in between us. Torps are out on him. I'm going to throw my own smoke screen down just to make sure I don't get spotted and deleted. And of course, are we going to be able to get this kill? Torps look good. He's sailing in a straight line. Does he burn out first? The Boise burns him out before we get our 8th and final kill. And that is it, folks. Double Dev Strike, Confederate High Caliber, and 2 double strikes. Dr. Drunk, a.k.a. for World of Warships, signing off.